everyone. We're live right here on Blue Table Talk. I'm your host, Deborah Jones, along with my co-host, Toya. So should we call Toya?
Just told you tonight.
Yeah, just Toya. Anyway, so thank you for coming on Blue Table Talk tonight. We have some candidates who are running for different offices, and our first candidate is LaDonna Sherwood, and she's running for City Councilman Ward 3. And we're gonna talk to her tonight. And if you have any questions you want to ask us, put it on the comment side. I'm gonna throw it out to her. We might not be able to read it, but she'll see it, and then we'll answer all as many as we can. Hello, LaDonna. How you doing tonight?
Hi, how are you guys doing tonight? I'm super excited about being on.
Yeah, we're excited about having you on here tonight because we've heard a lot
We're
of good
doing
things
good.
about you. So let's go ahead and hear, why do you want to run for City Councilman Ward 3?
The main reason that I want to run for Beaumont City Council Ward 3 is I think that there's a need for representation, particularly the North End and the South End. There are areas of the community that oftentimes people feel that they aren't being seen, they aren't being heard, or they don't really understand the person crying out in the wilderness for the past couple of years maybe didn't have all the backup or support or things that he may have needed. And I think that this particular time around, now that it's an open seat, I think that we need representation. We need transparency. We need somebody that's really going to fight for the North End and the South End, not at the detriment of downtown, but that's really focused on what the North End and the South End needs. And that's really to stand up and fight for those unseen, unheard communities. And I want to be that person. I've done a lot of work in the community in all different directions, right? From mentoring youth, working with elderly, community cleanups, food drives, back to school drives, clothing drives, raising money for families in need, educating the community about candidates that are running and why they're running and how to become involved, and just being an active member of the Democratic Party. And so for a long time, I've been working for the community behind the scenes on other people's campaigns. And this time I decide that it's time for me to run and go to work in front of the scenes.
Cool. What are some of the most important qualities that a city council member should have?
I think that the most important characteristic of a leader should be being able to listen, and have some ready responses, being able to be accountable and transparent, understanding, with a servant's heart that really cares about the community. I think those are attributes of a true leader. Service is a thankless job. Oftentimes you're helping people that may not even want your help, that may be talking about you, that maybe doesn't even see you for who you are or what you're working on or what you want to do. And nevertheless, you have to persist on. You can't allow any negativity to get in the way of what you've got going on. And our Bible tells us to let our service be the greatest among us. So that means sometimes service. I spoke to some young kids last night at Paradise about service. You can't beat God's giving. And when God sees you showing up for his people, he's definitely going to show up for you. And that's what I was reminding the young people last night, that God is not going to let you outgive him and outdo him where his people are concerned. And I was explaining to them how oftentimes God has showed up for me in ways that I didn't deserve, but I think it's because I've always put other people first. Mm-hmm. At 9 years old, I started cooking and cleaning at my house as an act of service to my mother, who I watched work 3 jobs while my daddy was on drugs. Mm-hmm. So these are the things that people don't see, right? I know that people have a lot of ideas about me, but for every activity that you see me at, there are probably 3 activities that you didn't see me at, that I did in silence, that nobody knows about, other people's kids that I am helping, that I'm walking through the process of getting to and through college, other people's kids that I'm walking through the process of learning how to drive or this or that or whatever they may be, or just holding their hand when they're crying and they're upset and they feel like they're hopeless and they don't have a mother or a father. These are things that I do that you do not see, right? So for me, service is more than just showing up to events, but I think showing up to the events, like today, I went to the Crime Stoppers event. It was a big deal because I want the police officers and people that are working on our behalf to know that I support them, that I appreciate them, that I have their back. And donating and participating is a way to let people know that you're there, being involved, and you're actively concerned about the things that concern them, right? Like right now, I'm downtown at an event that's a new business that's opening up. The best thing that I can do is show up and let them know that I support them. Ask them questions about the process. Was this process streamlined? Did you have any difficulty? Was permitting an issue? How can we help? How can we streamline this process and make this better for business owners, right? And in order to do that, I've got to show up and have conversations.
Yeah, you have to show up. So are you familiar with the current laws and ordinances that govern our city?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Are you familiar with the current laws that govern our city?
The current laws?
Uh-huh.
I hope so. I hope I'm not breaking any laws. I hope that I've got a good work knowledge of the laws and a law-abiding citizen.
I hope so.
I hope so too, girl. I hope so too. Now, don't get me wrong. We've all got a background, and God forbid, but we've changed. We're not going to allow our origination to determine our destination or what we've gone through to devalue you. But I mean, I hope that at this juncture in life, we're following the laws and doing what's right and proper and governing ourselves accordingly.
So how would you go about representing the interests of your constituents?
I'm sorry, say that again.
How would you go about representing the interests of your constituents?
I think that representing people's interests starts with talking to them, right? I always say, I had an event not too long ago, and it was Come and Talk to Me, right? And it was in the community where you could come and being interactive, because on my website and my platform, there's a place to email, text, or call your concerns. You can chat with me live. So it starts with listening. In order to get what the constituents need and want, you've got to talk to them. And sometimes that means meeting them where they are, which is why I've hosted these events throughout the year to get to know the candidates when I wasn't running, 10 years ago, when I was just hosting candidate meet and greets. And in order to get people to come, I would spend my money to cook food so that if you would be without an excuse to say, well, I just got off from work and I'm hungry. Well, there's dinner here. And come and listen to these candidates and see what they have to say. Come and ask them questions. And I mean, I wouldn't do anything any different now that I'm running. I still want to be found in those community engagement opportunities and events where we talk to the constituents, right? In any way that whether it's via phone, whether it's via text, whether it's, interactive, proactive ways of getting out with the people and making sure. Some of it's that, like I went to swing out in the park at the South End. People were coming up to me just talking. What we need, I think this, or I think that, or this or that. Involvement in the community is a way to engage and hear from the constituents.
Yeah, Ward 3 is huge. Like I was saying the other night, it goes from the north end, the south end. I even go further than that, downtown, right?
Yes.
What's the prospect of Ward 3? How does it run?
So Ward 3 runs down the I-10 corridor. Let's do it this way. Anything that touches the river from the L&B Canal all the way down to the Port of Beaumont on this side of the highway. So if you got 69, I-10 on the inside corridor of that. So if it's on that side, down to Washington Boulevard and Fort, on the inside of Washington Boulevard, not on the opposite side going towards, right? So it's on the inside of Washington Boulevard, the inside of I-10, and the inside of 69, right? If you understand what I mean when I say the inside. And so those are kind of the boundaries of Ward 3, but Ward 3 is in fact the oldest and the largest ward.
Right, because when you cross that track, that's Ward 4, right?
That is correct.
Okay, yeah. So are you ready for that broad spectrum?
Oh, I'm ready. I have been working in and around Jefferson County for years. I was just getting ready to say I'm the precinct chair of Precinct 23 right now. And that is one of the highest voting precincts in Jefferson County. And I would like to attribute that to the fact that I actually get out and talk to the constituents, knock on their doors, call their phones, and get them involved in the process, right? And I've been doing that for several elections, not just my election. Right now, I've paid a group of people to give me a list of non-voters in Ward 3. You know how long that list of non-voters is in Ward 3? It's 300 pages. It is 300 pages of people that have not showed up to vote. Yes. I don't care if the people don't vote for me because my heart says we are better when we have more participants. I've been doing this for 10 years. Even if you didn't vote for me, I want to see you participate in the process. It is your right. It is your responsibility. It is your duty. And for people that look like me, Black and brown people and women in particular, your ancestors fought, bled, and died for you to have the right to go in there and do it. I don't care. I say every election, every time, you only have two powers, who you elect and where you spend your dollars. So for me, being a precinct chair was one of the reasons how I managed to accomplish all the things with friend groups, right? You know what I started telling my friend groups? I was like, you need to get involved in the democratic process. People say, oh, well, she runs in the clique. No, she doesn't run in the clique. She's an inspiration to people. Every person that you see me with, I've made sure that one, they're voting. Two, they are active in their community. They're either precinct chairs or precinct captains. That means I'm holding them accountable to go street by street and block by block and turn out voters and help the election process. That's an inspiration to people, right? That's to inspire people to get involved in the political process, their democratic processes where people normally sit out and look. I'm encouraging them to get involved and get not just watch, but get in the game. Roll your sleeves up. Let's go. Let's get in the dirt, in the mud. How many people can you contact? How many people do you have in your phone? How many voters can you reach to vote? Not just this election, but every election, every time. And this is one thing that I'm very pleased to say too. I've been doing this. I've been doing this. I didn't just start today.
Yes. So, LaDonna, if you're elected, what would be your top priority?
My top priority for me is youth engagement. It's youth engagement because our young people are our future. And I think we got to catch them earlier. For me, it's not just about combating crime. It's about that this community is a minority majority, and majority of the people in this community look like me. And if we want better, then we've got to start with our young people. And sometimes that means parenting kids that's not our kids. Sometimes that means getting out of your comfort zone. It can't just be me and my four no more. I volunteer at Pathways. The kids that people then wrote off or they don't want to deal with or they don't want to talk to. I go to the behavioral specialists and I ask them, what kids can I talk to? The hard case kids, right? Because I know what it's like to have trauma and poverty and mental health issues. And you really don't know how to explain what you got going on. Sometimes it takes somebody that's been through these things to talk to somebody. You can't reach a kid that you ain't never been through nothing. Absolutely. You know, sometimes people look at people, but you don't know what them people going through. People see me today. You know what I told somebody the other day? I had a difficult childhood growing up. My childhood wasn't no flower bed of roses. I wasn't no pretty kid. In my mind, I wasn't a pretty kid. I had a cavity on every one of my teeth. I wore thick glasses. I could only see out of one eye. I had a patch over one eye. My mama cut all my hair off at one point. I went through a lot to arrive at this place today. The confidence that you see in me it didn't just spring up overnight. I had to put in some work on the inside to become the person that I am today. That's what I go tell them kids. It's okay to not be liked. It's okay to be talked about. It's okay to not be the in person or the in group. Guess what? Your start does not determine your finish. I am living proof, right?
Right.
I'm living proof. I go and talk to these kids and youth engagement matters to me because a lot of our young people feel hopeless. They feel unseen. They feel unheard. They feel uncared for. And a hopeless people is a dangerous group of people, right? When I don't have nothing to lose or I don't feel like I got nothing to lose, but yeah, I'm fighting and I'm stealing and I'm doing whatever, right? Because I So if we can offer them opportunities and activities through the city, through a partnership with BISD, through partnering with labor boards, through partnering with police and fire to give them opportunities starting earlier on, not waiting till they seniors, right? We need to start asking these kids, what do they want to do? What are they looking into? And start introducing them to those programs. And then having things that they can do outside of school, right? That may be considered sponsored, or maybe we get a group of, I was challenging the sororities, the fraternities, the civic and social organizations, the pastors, everybody. We got to get involved with these young people. These are our kids. They was mad at me. I went to that fight and they said, well, LaDonna was down at the fight. Yes, I did. I went there to tell them voting is happening now. And I love y'all. I care about y'all. Y'all future matters to me. You matter. Your vote matters.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I went down there. And I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to stop going because they had an incident, because we don't have no kids to throw away. If we quit going, we quit messing with them. Well, who going to mess with them? They our kids.
Now I heard you said that you've been
That
down.
is true.
You've been down.
They our kids. They belong to us. Even if they not mine, they yours, they mine, they ours. They're ours. They're
Right.
ours. Somebody got to show them and tell them and be honest and genuine and caring, right? You got to really,
They need to hear that.
yeah, to crack that hard shell. I got in the middle of that ring and told them, I love y'all. I love y'all. Y'all matter to me. I'm here. Miss LaDonna is here because I'm concerned. I'm here because I'm concerned about you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
it's not.
Have you
It's
ever
a. It's,
to Minnie Rogers probation system?
oh yes, I got. Oh boy, let me just tell you.
They need the love and understanding from someone, like you said, that's been there, could do, could tell them what to do, because they have closed minds.
And they think that because they made a mistake, that some kind of way, that means they not no good no more. That does not mean that. That does not mean that.
That's right. It doesn't
That
mean
does not mean that. You can take anything you've gone through and use it to be your motivation and your fuel to be better, and to encourage somebody else. And what you will find is that when you help somebody else, that help is coming right back to you. That's what I told those kids when I was talking about service. I said, listen, service is really not just for the person you helping. That service is for you too, because God is looking at you when you serve somebody else, and He's not gonna let you outdo Him.
Yeah, you better believe.
He's not gonna let you outdo Him. So for me, when you see me in the community serving other people, I know that there's a blessing in it. The blessing is not just in helping other people. The blessing is coming back to my house too. Amen. Man.
Amen. What sets you? I know you have an opponent. So what sets you apart from your opponent?
Let me say this. I tell people this all the time. I love my opponent. Okay, me and him, we like each other in real life. We're not far off from the mark, together on the same things that we like, that we want to see happen, that we love and we want to see in the community. I mean, if I had to pick something, since you asking me, I'm a fighter. Okay. I don't know if he a fighter or not. Maybe he is, but for me, what will definitely set me apart is I'm kind of like an angel with a sword. I'm gonna be protective as I need to be, but it could get slicey too.
Slow it down.
Yeah, I consider myself a joyful warrior.
Yeah. So you're in Ward 3, and you know a lot about Ward 3, about the infrastructure in Ward 3, because it's horrible. Even I'm in Ward 3, and I'm fighting all the time about the streets over here on where I live.
Yeah.
What would you do to help us out in Ward 3?
I think that the main thing that we have to do is start holding other elected officials accountable as well. People get upset when I say that, but no one person can do this alone. And I understand the power of having a majority and making sure that you're pressing on other wards to say, hey, we've done this for you, but this is what we need now. Or, hey, we've done this in that area. Now we need to focus on this. And I need your support. Now, you may need me, but right now I need you to get on board with what we need. And that means our at-large members and our mayor in particular, we need a strong advocate that can also compromise and broker deals, right?
Right.
You got to be able to broker deals in order to get some of these things done that need to happen in Ward 3. It may be sewage, it may be drainage, it may be streets. But I can't do that by myself, and I'm not foolish enough to believe it. But I do know that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So sometimes you got to go in there and get the going, and so people can know that you for real.
Right. I'm just putting out what I have some people talking, and I'm just putting it over there. You can see it, what they're saying, and if you want to address it, it's it's up to you. Okay. So it says maybe y'all can still work together after the election.
For sure, we have every intention. We try. I walked up to him at the post the other day. I said, I like what you said about downtown revitalization not being a priority of the bond issue and not wanting to spend a dollar of the bond money towards downtown. You want to focus on. I like that. Okay, I think that downtown really needs to be public-private partnerships. I don't really think that the bond issue if we get a Ward 3 bond specific issue, I don't think that downtown really needs to be the main focus of that. I think that main focus needs to be the north end and the south end. And so I agree. I like that. And I told him that. And I also like the fact that he knows a lot about the sewage and the infrastructure and the $300 million extra process that it would take. I don't know all of that. And it's not about knowing it all. It's about getting with the right people. And it's about building alliances and making sure that you talk to people that know more than you know. I'm not up here to pretend like I know everything about everything. I don't know everything about everything. That's true. Yes. But I will be found finding the answers. I will be found working on your behalf. I will be honest with you. If I don't know, I don't know. I'm going to have to get back with you. I'm going to have to get with the right people, and then we'll go from there.
Right.
Honesty is the best policy. Transparency is key, and being accountable. I can't promise people everything, but I can promise them I will be doing my dead level best. That's what I can say.
Right. So how well do you handle criticism?
Oh, I'm okay with it. I mean, you got to think about it like this. The other day they said I'm I hate to even repeat this, a gangbanger and a babbling idiot and something else. I don't know, whatever. But guess what? I'm still here smiling. And one thing about it, if God bring you to it, He gonna bring you through it.
Yes, ma'am.
And look, greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. Amen.
Amen.
He more than if He's for you, He more than the world against you. So I'm gonna ride with that.
If you keep smiling, they're gonna say, "Oh, we can't even get to it." You know what I mean?
Okay, right. Look, you got to learn how to let criticism. I mean, some criticism is constructive, right? If it's coming from a place of, LaDonna, I'd like to help you do X, Y. I think you could do that better. Some criticism is from a place of being nasty and petty and off color. And you know when that happens. But either way, what you need, you take. What you don't need, you let. If it apply, let it apply. If it don't apply, let it fly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So when making a decision for your ward, how would you determine what is the best interest of that ward or of the city?
I think I'm going to always go to the people first. I will always go to the people first. If we got a decision that needs to be made and it's a way for me it's going to be on the agenda and we know it's coming up, then I'll put out a message or, make a post or a blast. Hey, what do y'all think about this? Or what would you like to see? Which I'm glad the city of Beaumont is doing some more of that because they're actually putting out surveys. What issues do you want on a bond issue? What issues do you want on what would you like to see Beaumont do with this money or that money or, things of that nature? I think if you have the time, you should always do that. Now, if you have to answer on the fly, then I will always be doing what is kind and right and proper for the people what I think is thoughtful and kind and right and in the best interest of business, right?
Right.
I will be fiscally responsible, not conservative, because I think you do need to spend money where money needs to be spent. Sometimes you can't keep it. Sometimes you just can't hold on to it. Just to say you got it and you got stuff falling down. No.
Yeah.
Right. So I won't promise any conservativeness. I will promise responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Deborah Chapman says, I think the bond issue needs to be more than a police station, city hall, and the golf course. That's not being said when surveys are sent out.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Yeah, that's true.
I know that's right. They that survey can be broadened as well. Hopefully they do another one before they do the bond issue. So yes, I will take that into consideration. Tell her thank you.
So you and I were talking earlier before we came on, and I know how I feel. I know how you feel. How do you feel about the people voting right now? Do you? I mean, they're not
Oh
voting.
man, I'm so disgusted. I am depressed. I feel that turnout is low and I just don't know why. Like it's 68,000 registered voters. And I just don't know if it's voter apathy. I don't know if it's just because they don't think that it matters. I don't know if it's just that they don't care. I don't know. And it's a hard task and it's a hard pill to swallow, especially when your life work initiative is to turn out voters. For me, I really want to see them. I really want to see them show up to the polls. I don't care what if they. I wouldn't care if they was voting to turn a sign this way or that way. I want to see you participate in that process.
Right, right.
So I'm a little sad. And I'm just trying to work on making sure that people are reminded and that they feel encouraged and that they have a vote day plan. And if they don't have a plan or they need help or they need a ride or they need assistance, that I'm making myself available, my team, my volunteers. I think that's all we can do.
So you had something to say?
LaDonna, I'm sorry.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
she's saying she's already answering all my questions before I asked. But the only thing I had wanted to know was, dang it, I forgot what I wanted to ask you, LaDonna. It was about voting. It was about vote. No, a lot of people don't even know it's election time.
Well,
That
that
I've
is
reached out to.
unfortunate.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then we have some young guys that I had talked to. They said they were not voting because they don't think their vote mattered. They wasn't even registered to vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
It's
shame.
hard. That's a hard task. We've got a very difficult task in front of us to turn voting around. I just think that we can't give up. We can't lose hope. We got to be found encouraging them. We got to be found making sure that they know and just incentivizing when we can. But we really shouldn't have to give away food or trinkets or gifts or motivate somebody to do something that people literally got their houses burned, literally got beat, literally got. I mean, we shouldn't have to incentivize something that takes 2 or 3 minutes to do. It should be, to me, it should be something that's ingrained in you at an early age that you must do. You can't not do it. You must do it. Like kind of like a rite of passage, kind of like everybody must get a driver license or they think they must drive or they think they must drink at 21. Voting needs to be like a must do thing in every family. Like you must do it.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of like a rite of passage that everybody, when you get a driver license, everybody's so happy. Oh my God, you got your driver license. Like the first time you vote, everybody ought to be like cheering them on, like a big, I don't know if we need to throw a vote day party when you turn 18 or something. I don't know. I'm trying to think outside the box about it.
Right, right. I don't know.
But I think it needs to be a big deal.
Yes, yes. And we have people out here that pushing them, but they're just not doing it. It's not doing
And tell Miss Cheryl, no, I'm very concerned about the South End. I do not forget about the South End. Actually, the South End has a whole lot of rich heritage and richness there
right.
and refineries that are there. And we've got to charge them up too. I'm all with charging up those refineries that can be found doing more for the South End while we're giving them tax abatements and different ways to help them incentivize they build, and they need to be incentivizing the area that they're in. Period. The end. Oh, I plan on getting with them, Miss Cheryl. Don't you worry. It'll be my pleasure.
And Cheryl, you know I love the North South End. That's where I'm from. Okay, so and Ms. Wingate says, is that true? Some of the candidates' names were not on the ballot.
No, it was that people thought people would be in there on their ward race, and they just weren't in that ward.
And that's not in
Yeah,
ward.
so it wasn't that their names wasn't on their ballot. People thought like I would be on their ballot no matter where they lived. The people thought that certain people were going to be on their ballot no matter where they lived. It's only if you are rich. And not only that, a lot of people have their voter registration going to a place that they don't live at, so they don't understand that either. Well, my driver's license says this. Well, your driver's license is not your voter registration card.
Right.
Wherever you have that voter registration registered to is where you vote at, unless you change that address to what's on your driver's license.
Right.
And I don't think that people understood that either.
Right. Right.
Because I had a few calls. Well, you weren't on there and I live in the North End, or you weren't on there and I live in the South End. Well, did you change your voter registration? Where did you live before that? And if you never did an address change, this is why you're only voting in the wards that showed up.
Okay, so I know it's time for my next person to come on, but Mr. Reese is not here right now. It's up to you, Ms. Dawn, if you want to continue or you want, because I'm very particular about people's time.
Yes, no, I'm at an event, so I gotta get off, but I am grateful
I am so
for
happy.
this.
I am so happy you answered the call. So
Yes, I am grateful for the opportunity, and I just kind of wanted to make sure that people got to see me and they get to know me in a different perspective. Because I think sometimes when you're on the outside looking in, you're thinking one thing, but you really don't know the heart of a person, and you really don't know why they're doing what they're doing. And sometimes it's just because God is pushing you. It's sometimes that you're not even. It's not even you. It's because he have compelled you to do certain things and you can't sit by because he gonna get you with a whipping or without a whipping. The choice is yours. I just don't want him to whip me. So I'm found doing what needs to be done. Okay. When he tell me to move, I go. When he say don't go, I don't go. But if you see me moving around, it's because I've been charged with doing his work. And a servant is not somebody that has to lead. I don't have to do that. I've been doing this for years and years and years, but I felt compelled to move out.
I
And
just
his
want
will is gonna be done on May 3rd. And I'm 100% in belief of that. I trust him and I believe that whatever he wants to have happen, he is the infinite creator of the heaven and the earth. He hung the moon and the stars. It's
yes.
just gonna be that and it ain't gonna be nothing else.
Then ask nobody for help.
It ain't gonna be nothing else, okay?
So I'm gonna leave with this. Terry Ross says running ain't easy, but it's necessary.
Yes.
Yes, that's true. That is true. And one
And
more.
I love you, my friend. Good luck. And we're doing it together either way.
Either way, y'all.
Either way. We're doing it together either way.
LaDonna, I want to say that it's like you and Terry, it's a breath of fresh air because y'all are not out here bashing each other. Y'all are
Amen.
not running a dirty campaign.
Yeah.
Oh no, ma'am. Oh no, ma'am. Oh no, ma'am. I wouldn't. I always think about it like this. I got a mama and aunties and grandmas and all of that. I don't want them looking at me to the side, and I don't want to make them ashamed, right? That's
And baby, Miss Drew,
some
don't
of
care,
the
she would
stuff.
beat you down.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you, girl. I'm not gonna be embarrassing my mama and them. Girl, no ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am, press him. I think if kids had a little bit of what we had growing up, they'd be different too.
Every different
Well,
too.
I was scared of your mama. I'm still scared of Miss Drew. I don't play with Miss Drew.
Okay, girl, let me tell you. My mama would not have it. Okay, so I know better. Some of these people act like they don't have no home training. I'm not one.
Thank
And
you.
we was also taught to lead with love. So you know that she look. You better be found loving your neighbor and doing the right
Yeah,
thing and all of the things.
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
true. Everybody respect your mama.
I'm gonna share with you. Enjoy your rest of your evening, and God bless you on your race. And like they said, keep it clean. Keep
Thank
it.
you. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Have a
Good
good
night.
night.
Okay, so our next guest will be Woodrow Reese. But have you gotten in touch with him, Toya?
Yes, ma'am. Let me text his son
Because now he
because I
has
don't have Mr. Hold on, mom. Let me see. You have Kevin's phone number? You do? Mm-hmm. Tell me to get his.
I could just hold on for a minute to we're trying to contact Woodrow Reese. He's running for District 3. Is it 3? For a school board. And so whenever he comes on, he'll be on from 8 to 8:30. So he has lost some of his minutes. And after Mr. Reese, we'll have AJ Turner. Excuse me. Hopefully. If not, Jimmy Joe's gonna be here. Just playing. Anyway, thank you guys for coming on. And go ahead and text everybody and let them know that we have candidates on the line for who's running for office, and we need them out here to listen to people so they can vote. Yes, Terry. Great things are coming. You are so right, and I appreciate you and LaDonna. I know you are opponents, but I appreciate both of you guys. And like they said, you guys are running a clean race. I don't hear anything bad about what's going on with you guys. So hey, whatever God says, it's gonna be done. That's how I feel about it. So keep the faith. Sure, I don't like dirty campaigning either. It's dirty campaigning is just you don't have to fight about it. For what? You either win or you lose. Somebody has to lose, right? That's why I'm never gonna run. Okay, let me see who everybody touch everybody up here. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me take this call.
Mm.
I just spoke with him and he's getting ready to call him right now.
Yeah, you think he went to? Okay.
No, ma'am, we do not do dirty campaigning.
No. And one day you guys might run for something and I need some help. So you got, there's a lot of help out here. I see Yolanda is on here saying good evening. Hey, Yolanda, Yolanda is running for school board as well, District 2.
Who's
So,
man?
I beg your pardon?
I was telling Miss Nan hi. You said she was on.
Oh, no. She's on the comment side.
Yes, ma'am. I was just saying hi to her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so let's keep everybody, all our candidates in prayer. I couldn't get in touch. I don't know if Toya did get in touch with anybody running for mayor position.
No, ma'am, because we didn't have enough time tonight.
Okay. So try to get in touch with them, see what's going on the mayoral position, because the mayor is the most important thing in our city, in any city. So it's just like having president of the United States. The mayor is the one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tight race.
Right. Terry says, I think everyone should run at least once. That ain't right, Terry. We all stress change, but don't join the process. That ain't
Yes,
happening,
yes. Look, Terry stressed, he stressed me. But I love him.
Yes.
No, he don't stress. I'm messing with him.
Kayla, don't forget to get your stuff. She said she's looking at us or looking at somebody. Yeah, I can't stress voting enough because it's a sad source in our city right now. I can't believe we only had not even 10%. So I don't know.
It's really, really, really sad. It's so sad. It's heartbreaking. We had people die for us to, have a right to vote.
Yeah.
When they're trying to make it harder, no, in the White House for women to vote.
Well,
but it is what it is.
I don't think it's sad, put it like that.
It is, and especially our younger, even people of my age, we're not showing up at the polls like we should. It's more the older generation.
Well, we just sit here and wait for him. I'm gonna give him 5 more minutes, and then
okay.
While you doing that, could you text to see what our next person is doing? If he's able to come on tonight, because he'll be on at 8:30. If so.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yes, I believe. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Running for any position. That's right. And putting yourself out there. Terry says, "I'm proud to say old folks vote," because I'm old. Yeah, we all old. Access to all available resources.
Y'all are not old. Terry, you 5 years older than me. Go sit down somewhere.
Well, I'm like more than that.
5 times 5. Baby. Nah, everybody be talking about. I saw Miss Deborah. I said that little butterfly need to go sit down somewhere. She don't act her age.
That don't mean anything. Treva said, "Don't nothing get old but clothes." Hey y'all. Hey Treva.
You sure not getting old.
Well, to
Look
Treva,
at that Cheryl posting. Hey on Cheryl.
that was Cheryl Jackson. Yes.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
Treva says hi. And Treva, we're waiting for your opponent to come on. So
She's sitting right here across from me. She said for you to, she said for you to go accept her friend request.
what? You keep going out.
She said go accept her friend request.
Ooh,
Treva said for you to go accept her friend request.
I did. Let me see, Treva. Hold on. Cheryl Jackson said Deborah Jones is never sitting down. I do
I'm
sit down.
sure she is never sitting down. Nah, the only time she's quiet is when she's driving about to fall asleep. And she only called me to keep her up. Not because she loved me.
You right. I don't know. That ain't right. Let me see. Did you text the other person? Sure, Toya?
No, ma'am, I haven't. He hasn't gotten back with me.
I'm
So
talking
I
about
haven't heard from him. And I know AJ had a prior engagement. He was planning on logging in later. But
right,
if Mr. Reese isn't gonna come on, then I'll just tell AJ to don't worry about rushing on here. We'll just, I mean, everyone knows his platform anyway.
right. But he's like giving a little joy going out. So I like to hear him
Man,
speak.
man, you still want to hear AJ?
Yeah. He's
We
on
may
the
have to log on. Let me text him and see what.
what
Let
he's
me
doing.
text him right quick. Give me a second.
She's like, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. I'm gonna have to check and see. If you are a Southeast Texas line stepper, don't forget tomorrow night. Um, we're with the oncology, Texas Oncology, from 6 to 7:30. We need to, I think it's 6 to 7:30. We're going to teach them line dancing. So look on the post, and you'll see the attire and the time and everything. So that out, and then the next night, which would be the next day, which would be Saturday, they're asking us to come dance at the polls, John Paul Davis polls like we did last year. So if you are Southeast Texas line stepper, and then we're going to the polls on Saturday, and and Texas Oncology on tomorrow. It's the what they call that, Relay for Life, something like that. Yeah, Relay for Life tomorrow. Yes, let's dance. Let's dance. So I appreciate everybody for coming on. Like I said, yeah, Saturday, May the 3rd, 4 to 5, John Paul Davis polling location on Lucas. Look at that now. So let's get it together and do what we need to do. And she already put the tie in. The thing that we wore last Saturday at the park on the South End. So much for that. And when she comes on, I bring our candidates on because I know you need to hear them. You probably already heard them or hear what they have to say if you have not voted, so that you can know who to vote for. Because Saturday is the last day, is really the election day, and you'll know who to vote for on that. So they will know. It ain't like I don't have a life. I do. I promise you I do. And I appreciate y'all hanging on in here with me as well. She was, she was on last night. But if she want to come on again tonight, that's fine. I don't have a problem. You have a
Who are we
question?
talking about, Mom?
They want Cheryl wants said put Treva his for Johnson on to fill in for AJ if nobody comes in. Not last night. Night
She
before.
said you ain't said nothing but a thing, Mom. Send her the link. She stay ready.
Send another link then.
Oh, you want me to send it to her?
Yeah, because I text you the link and I have to go
Okay.
out.
Yes, ma'am. I'll send it.
Javon, I need to talk to you guys. Oh my God, I need to talk to you and Lance. Javon, you have my number. Do you have my number, Javon? Text me the information about your mother-in-law. What's what? And thank you, Javon. I tried to do my best to have these people on so that they can say what they need to say about their election. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. You always do a great job. I'm just trying to pat him behind you. That's all. You're an awesome woman.
Mom, are we going to be able to provide a platform tomorrow?
When we get off tonight, I'm gonna contact these people on here.
Okay, just let me know. Okay.
Okay. So don't hang up.
Yes, ma'am. Mom, she's on.
I see she just popped in. No, she's not on yet. She's not on yet. Her name just popped up, but everything else, her facial haven't popped in. What did AJ say? Hello? Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl, I don't even know where I got this from. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Okay, when his support come on, where is she? She's not backstage. She's configuring. So when she comes on,
Well, Mom, we can just do both of them tonight. To what we're gonna do tomorrow. We can just knock it out right now in 30 minutes.
To who?
Or 15 minutes if Treva comes on and Mr. Reese comes on if they have any questions.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay.
What did AJ say?
I'm waiting on his response.
Okay. What? Here she is. Hey, Trey Five.
Hey, I was
Can you hear
talking about
me?
my bars. I only got 3 bars.
You can't plug your phone in somewhere? Can you plug it in somewhere?
No, oh no, not the tower, the network.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. How you doing, beautiful?
How you doing? We're supposed to have your
I am
opponent
well. I am.
tonight.
I am.
We're supposed to have your opponent on
I
tonight, but
know.
I don't know where. I don't
I
know where
know.
he.
I'm excited to. He might be coming in. I'm excited that he gonna be on this podcast tonight. You know how long ago I sent you a friend request, Miss Deb, because this is my new page. You got my old page, and I can't get in no more.
Well, send me another one.
It's still in. Okay, I'm gonna cancel it and resend it so you gonna see it. Because I'm sure
Right.
it's way down at the bottom by now. It's,
Yeah. Shirley
it's
said, Shirley was full of junk. I'm sorry for putting you on the spot. But she's the one that told
look,
me to put you on.
look. She know I love her. She know. Look, I stay ready. I ain't got to get ready. She know that. She know. That's my love right there. I was enjoying. LaDonna did great.
Great. Great.
She did. She did a great job.
How do you I know you're running for school board and we've got to step out with these children. You got to step to
Yeah.
the superintendent and the superintendent to the administrators, administrator to the teachers. How do you plan to improve student achievement in the classroom?
Student achievement in the classroom.
Yes,
So I
I know.
think we have to be student focused.
Yeah.
We have to be student focused. We have to see, first of all, the first thing I would like to do is for us to have an assessment to see what's working and what's not working. Because when you look at the grades of the district, and even though there was this a statement that was put out that they're in a better place now, we don't know those actual numbers. So I do know though that BISD has been in a crisis for a lot of years. So I think something needs to be assessed, some things taken away, and something else needs to be added. But we need to know and recognize what's not working and stay away from it because it's not serving the city, it's not serving the students. Let me tell you something, Ms. Deborah. The day after my podcast, that morning I went to a school uh, to go speak to them. And I've been doing that for a very long time. When I went in that classroom, it felt like something from Lean on Me. You hear me?
What?
Oh, it was, oh, it
Or
was bad. I'm talking about cursing. I'm talking about the whole 9 yards. And it broke my heart because what I saw, I didn't see a bunch of bad kids. I saw a bunch of hurting kids. I saw a bunch of kids who done been through some things from a little bitty on up. And there are some serious mental issues that need to be addressed within the district of the children within this district because just grouping them in a setting for troubled students is not working because everybody in there is not trouble per se. Some
mm-hmm.
people, when I was in there, my spirit called out some mental issues and I even told the teacher, I said, I'm going to be frank and say this is more than just behavior. And so I think that needs to be acknowledged because once we properly acknowledge the problem, is the only way you can properly fix the problem. Think about a car. Your car is sputting along and chugging along. You never check it out to get it fixed. You never go get it fixed, but you just keep doing things that you think is the problem. But before long, the whole car gonna conk out because you
Mm-hmm.
never had it assessed to see what the real problem was to get it fixed. Now, of course, children are no cards, but the scenario is about the same. We have to stop looking at these children like they all the same, like they all come from, like they all afforded the same love at home, like they're all afforded the same opportunities. Some kids go home and don't even eat dinner at night.
Right.
And so, of course, if you go home and you get up from school, you're going to be angry. You're going to be mad because something is wrong. Some kids, you know, get called, and excuse my language, I'm going to say, but you have some children who get called little nigga from the time they're a baby, their whole life. And if that's how they're addressed, that's how they're acknowledged, how is a person like that going to be able to think or get or attain better? And that's what I want to bring. That's what I want to show. That's what I want to start at. Because a lot of the academic problems are not, it's not solely academics. It is rooted in emotional
Mm-hmm.
trauma and mental trauma. And we have to properly assess it because if we don't, from what I saw yesterday, it had me in tears. I've been praying and I'm a praying woman, but I've been praying since I left that school. I told one little boy, I said, I see you, and I'm gonna continue to pray for you. I wasn't scared of him. You know, you almost the age of my oldest grandchild. But I told him, I said, I'm scared for you. My heart is breaking for you because there has to be something that more that we can do. We need a serious interventions in
Mm-hmm.
BISD.
Right.
We do. Yes,
Wait
ma'am.
a minute.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Hold on. Let me see. Mr. Reese,
Yes,
are you
yes.
there? Are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
How are you tonight?
Every day's a great day you wake up.
It,
Hey
it, de-
now.
it definitely is. So this is Blue Table. This is Deb Jones with Blue Table Talk. And so
Uh-huh.
I also have your opponent on with you, which is your opponent. You already know what it is.
Good evening, Mr. Reese.
Hey, hey, my phone.
Hey, Mr. Reese. This Toya. How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Fine. We can't see your handsome face.
Okay.
Okay. In the
you
show,
plan,
let me see in
you plan
here.
on turning your camera on?
Let me see. Uh,
Kevin, give me a
I'm
look.
trying to let me see. Cam. Okay, let me see that. There we go.
There you go. There you
Okay.
go. There you go. Oh, is it? Oh,
That's
now,
me there.
now
Salute.
you now.
Now we can
Salute.
see you.
Yeah.
There you
Okay, so,
go.
I asked Treva just now. I know that the school board this works with the superintendent. Superintendent works with the administrators. Administrators work with the teachers. But back in the day, the school board used to come into the schools, go into the schools and see what's going on. And so, they just stopped for some whatever reason. But the question was, or still is, how should the school district do better to prepare students for careers? I mean, that starts with first grade. That starts with first grade. So what would you do to make it better for those kids to have a better career, or even just stay in school or do well in school?
Well, first of all, it is said that by third grade, if you can't read, you're going to be failure.
Right.
Because everything you go through in school is going to be dealing with reading and understand the problem that you need to solve.
Right.
Okay, so it's just a big challenge. But if I could just go away from that, we have too many uncertified teachers, probably 150. Some of them have 1 year left, some of them have two, some of them have three.
Right.
We've got the partnership with ExxonMobil as well as Lamar and LIT,
Mm-hmm.
so that these groups of folks can get tutored as how and to take this test and learn the knowledge that they need for you to in order to be successful. They want to be successful. They love their job.
Mm-hmm.
I like because I've gone into oh God, I forgot it's the one over there in Florida, and I've watched and examined what a teacher does. I don't bother them. I just see their relationship with those students. Those students are happy. I mean, it's pre-K, and they're working out some problems too. I mean, it's not difficult problems, But
Right.
that's you got to start somewhere.
That's start somewhere.
We got to have teachers certified. The state of Texas demands that you do. These other schools, charters and stuff, they don't have to be certified, but they make the money.
But they make the money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But even though if they're not certified, or I mean, we have some certified teachers who don't give a flip about the students.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
if they're not certified, I wouldn't hold that much to get, because you give them 3 years for certification anyway. If they're not, and after that, they have to go. But why is it the school board can't just step in as far as going to the classroom and talk to the teacher? I beg your pardon.
Go ahead.
But
I'm listening.
the school board going like they used to come to the classroom. I'm an educator. I'm an educator. I remember the school board coming into the classroom and checking to see how the teachers doing, what they're doing. They ain't they're not gonna stay for 5 or 10 minutes, but they're checking on them.
Right.
So how can we get the school board to go back to that?
Well, it should be something that you want to do. Bingman's the name of the school, because I had supposed to have been tutor. Go in once a week, maybe on a Tuesday, whatever. Right now, me and the wife babysits 2 twins, lesbian twins, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I'm not saying no excuses, but when I do have time, just like before Lucas shut down, I always do a little silly skit. And all the kids really loved it because they all wanted to do it. But of course, the teacher didn't let them, interact, because they got to start interacting. Whether it's something silly or whatever, to make them laugh, to make them feel part of solving a problem of who is that man in there jumping up and down like we're supposed to do. But that was my technique. But I can't speak for every board member. But I know, and from what I hear, she got to tell me her first name. Is that Treva? Did I say it right?
Yes,
Yes,
Treva.
sir.
I said it right. Hey. Because I told Treva when I met her at the board at the voting, I said, look, I'm going to tell you the secret. If I win, I said if, I didn't say I win. If I win, Treva needs to be part of some committees that we have. And that is our saying, that the superintendent don't have to say. We can tell them, we're the boss of the superintendent. Did you know that?
Treva?
Yes, sir. I knew. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people
Yes,
don't think
sir.
so. But we don't flaunt it, but we are. That's how it is. And she has her staff, her teachers, and do what she has to do with them. Of course, if it gets where they need to file agreements, it's going to come to our desk anyway. So I always suggested, if somebody is being done wrong, you correct it. Don't bring it to us. Nope, don't bring it to us. But
Right.
so yes, but then when you have 7 board members and you have 7 people that's not quite thinking the same, possibly as me and Kevin, it wasn't a good time all the time, because we don't take no stuff. We don't, especially when it's coming to our children, whether it's in the high school or what have you, whether it's academics or whether it's the cheerleaders. We had problems with Westbrook this year with cheerleaders. White girls, 3 of them, leave campus, they don't get suspended. Black girl go into their car and they come back, they got suspended. But guess what happened?
Yeah.
All of them came back. All of them came back. Because you can't do that.
No.
That's the old Jim Crow days. You just can't do that.
Yeah.
But they tried it, but they was messing with the wrong folks. Because people always come to me with a problem. And if they come to me with a problem, it's my problem then. Because they shouldn't have to come to me. I'm not going to be at that schoolhouse every day at Westbrook or this one. I move around. Mm-hmm.
So, Mr. Rich, you've been on the school board for a long time. So,
Lord.
what issues do you believe is most important to the district?
Well, the first thing is that they're going to the lock up on the cell phones, which the state of Texas just approved that
Yeah,
in
they're trying to mm-hmm.
House Bill 304.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in between that on those phones, even though the kids are doing pretty good now. But why does it have to come to that? Because kids sitting in class may have a young teacher, whatever, and they're on the phone. They
Mm-hmm.
can't learn nothing on the phone. Then you'll get a rating of a F like BU did in 22-23. That's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
They got some darn good teachers over there.
But it's charged to the teachers. Yeah.
It's
So
choice.
for
What do you mean
yeah,
it's choice with them?
the students getting that F, and knowing that these students are doing themselves.
That's right.
Hmm. Hmm. So
So what do y'all? How would either one of you guys address that? How would y'all? Because it's got to stop.
So
If you think taking up a cell phone is gonna stop the issue,
no, it's not.
it's
No, it's
not.
not. Not
It's not. Make it
totality.
worse.
No, no. Because they don't care that the first time they exempt from a fine. I think the second time they maybe $15 and then 30. Money is not going to solve this thing.
no.
They're going to have to
Mm-mm.
be conditioned to where, look, I'm supposed to be in class to learn, not sitting on that cell phone talking to whoever. They're going to have to just come with it because uh,
That's right.
they got to learn. See, because the state of Texas and our president is after the Board of Education. Anything
Mm.
like the Pell Grants, the other
Yep.
grants, all of that. He just fired 1,300 the people and fixing to fire 1,400 people again. That's 2,700 people he's
That's
firing
crazy.
because he does not want the board. He doesn't want it to work,
Yeah.
I still
just
feel
like
like,
vouchers.
excuse me, Mister. Let
Come.
me interject for a moment, y'all. I still feel
Hmm.
like Trump can do whatever he wants, but he don't run Beaumont, Texas. He don't. The
No.
direct impact is us. It's us. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I want to
Right.
touch on 2 points, Miss Deborah. You talked about how will we good school, and I'm telling you, going in, that was one of my biggest concerns because I love being in the school, and I'm like, well, does school board do that? Is that allowed? You know what I'm saying? And so I know it is, and I think that one
I'm
way
getting an
to combat.
echo.
Go ahead, Mr. Reed.
No, I'm getting an echo back.
Okay, okay.
But
Um, I think that we just actually begin to do it. We actually begin to just go into the schools. Um, there's no other way to do it. You get up and you walk into schools, and we walk into classrooms, and
hmm
we observe, and we let those people know who we are. We let the children know who we are. We let their parents know who we are. In regards to the
hmm
testing scores and how do we attack that, we somehow have to figure out a way to get in the homes to where we can ask these parents to start making these children accountable. Personally, I'm old school. I would like to see the cell phone taken up the whole year. You can't get it back to the last day of school because that's how it was when I was in school. And guess what? It was effective. But I know you have
hmm
parents come down and start clowning behind the cell phone.
Ooh,
But I
Lord.
think at
Oh
that
yeah.
point in time, then let's draw up a contract. And you sign this
Hmm.
contract, parent. You sign this contract that your kid will not bring this cell phone into the school for the rest of the year. And if they do and they're caught with the cell phone, it's taken up and the contract can't be broken. But again, for something like that to work, the the relationship with the parents. The parents need to know that we are not their enemies, that we are looking out for their
Right.
kids and want their kids to be the best that they possibly can be. I think they have to understand, the parents need to know that they have allies within the district, not enemies. The
Right.
children need to know that we're on their side, trying to make things better for them. seriously. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my
Yeah.
take on it. It's you, Mr. Reese. I'm gonna mute
Yeah.
myself right now. Well, Mr. Reese,
Okay.
I have a quick
Well,
question. I'm sorry.
sure. Sure.
I wanted to ask two things. My thing with cell phones is for the school shootings, that's my main concern. A lot of children have saved lives calling for help. And then my second question is it possible when you're misbehaving, can you guys implement something to find the parents? And if you find those parents, they're gonna get sick of kids, that will help with discipline.
I didn't hear it all, but finding a parent, I think it gets down to be a technical issue. As you know, Jones had a
Mhm.
program where he was finding the parents left and right, especially when kids don't come to school. So when you get into that,
Oh, okay.
and we all know Deuce Jones, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, yeah. And he
Yes,
was he
sir.
was he was no nonsense, but I
Absolutely.
don't think he's following that program now. It gets technical to the point that they'll go to their lawyer, and then the state says, "Well, you really can't do that." But the other alternative is they're going to go to out on 69, and
Mm-hmm.
some of them going to jail. And we don't want
Yep.
to lose a kid that way. But some people say, "Well, the parent needs to go to jail." Well, who's going to run the house?
Absolutely.
So, so I'm old school, very old school. I've been around about 20 years in the school board system. Um,
But that's what we need, Mr. Reese. We need that.
yeah, yeah. But everybody don't agree with me. Trust me. My opponent's gonna find that out if she get in there. They don't agree. They don't have the same. They say they have the same, but they don't act it.
Mentality. Yes,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sir.
no. Just like I'm not gonna just get in nobody's kid's face or something like that. But I'm not
Yes,
gonna take
sir.
no crap either way.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, and they understand that. Just like I'll stand off and say what I gotta say. They say what they gotta say, but there are rules, and you have a principal, you have an assistant principal, and it's their job to take care of that. I mean, all that fighting that they was doing, I don't know if they're doing. I don't think they're doing as much now. But Lord, that was just outrageous. They were like little heathens, and will fight the principals that's breaking them up.
Yes, sir. Mr. Reese, you ever thought about bringing in old school teachers like Miss Sanders, people like that to teach classroom discipline? Management, I'm sorry, classroom management.
We tried to do that. A lot of teachers just don't want to do it no more. A lot of them. They just don't want. They
That's
don't want to fool
unfortunate.
with
Yeah. Because they took
you. I mean, it's a
discipline out
great
of school.
idea. Well, but it's a great idea. But how do you force somebody that they're looking at situations and they're looking at how kids are acting all over
Like I
Beaumont,
said,
Ross,
the
Orange,
students, the students aren't
wherever?
the same anymore. They're
But
not the same anymore.
uh,
They would rather tear you down and not let
That's
you
right.
work.
mhm,
That's because
yeah,
they took that discipline out of school, and that's unfortunate.
yep,
Yeah,
corporal punishment.
they
Can't
took
do
clothes
it.
out of school. They took prayer out of
Yeah.
school. Everything that worked.
Yep,
Prayer's coming
yep.
back.
Yeah,
I
they have to
forgot
That's
her
take.
good.
name. hmm Uh,
Hmm.
she's gotten her signatures, and I think that she already brought it to Austin, and they're acting on it. The House,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes to the Senate, and I think it's going to pass because
It
they
needs to
got so many crazy. Yeah,
It
it needs to
should.
pass.
It took
I
one
mean,
lady to
well,
take it out,
yeah,
an atheist. Mhm.
hmm hmm yeah. So, you know, I don't know. I came up with a time when they don't want to fly the American flag. I mean,
yeah, right,
why
right.
not? Because you had to fly these other nation flags. No, this is America.
You had to fly the
We're
Confederate.
Americans first. like it or
Wait a
not,
minute,
we're
you had
Americans first.
to?
Yes,
Hmm. Back,
Wow.
yeah,
back
yeah.
then.
Hmm. But
Wow.
now we got past that. But uh, oh, let me mention about the voucher too. The voucher is not for black and brown. Do you believe that?
Hmm.
That's not hard to
Tell
believe.
me why. I'm glad you asked because if little, my son, say my son was 10 years old and he wanted to go to Marshall or whatever, he goes over there. He don't have the voucher in his hand, but it's in the system. And that's a black parents don't understand. They ain't get no money. They won't touch. They won't see no money. It's a voucher. And they go and say, "Well, oh, I'm sorry, but we all filled up." So what does that do with my child?
But
He
put
better
you
go
right
where he
back.
can.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go, sister. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mr. Reese, did people actually think they would
yes,
get money in their hands? Did people actually think that?
yes. I don't want to really talk about that a whole
Okay, I
lot
got you.
because
That's fine.
it,
Yes, sir.
it'll be saying that I'm saying that they're stupid. They're not stupid. They just
Oh,
don't understand.
Right.
yes, sir.
Because we never had vouchers before. We've never
Right.
had them. We just
Yes,
had,
sir.
hey, pick your school and your
Yep.
territory that you live in, and you go to school. But
Hmm.
I'm telling you, the president doing his thing. Oh boy, and the board of education, you will not know it in probably a year. You will not know it. So a lot of
Mm.
schools are going to academies now.
Right.
Yeah,
But
because the
but
academy
it's
in Port Arthur,
mhm.
that let me just and they starts with a T. You know they got an A
Decor.
on the
Decor.
academy. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Decor.
they
Hmm.
got an A. You know they're
Right.
gonna investigate them, huh? Do you know that? They're gonna investigate them.
Oh
How you
yeah.
gonna get an A and the rest of the black schools around here, predominantly black, they
Uh
get
huh.
F plus, D, D
Now they
plus. I mean,
think they cheated.
yep. Oh, you said the word. I didn't have to say it. Yeah, they fucking cheated.
Yeah.
So they gonna dig. They gonna go to school and dig. Hey, little fool.
Mr. Reese, isn't
Yeah.
Mr. Reese, what is the percentage of black in the school? Isn't it 90% of African Americans?
Oh no,
Or what's the
because now you
percentage?
have Mexican Americans,
Okay.
Latino Mexicans. You have them, and I'm telling you, uh, they're here. Fletcher is predominantly probably 93%.
Right. Right.
Yeah. As well as Martin Luther King was.
Right.
Um, and you know we're closing Martin Luther King.
Hmm.
No, we call closing Smith, and those kids are being distributed
Wait a
I
minute. Hold
heard
on.
that.
because
I didn't know they closed the Smith. They closed the Smith too.
Hmm. Yep.
at the end of
Yes,
this
ma'am.
year, we wanted Third Future to stay, but
Right.
and I hate to bounce around, Third Future wanted 13% raise. Come on. So they got mad, so they're going to Louisiana. Well, good luck in Louisiana. I don't know about the educational system there. I mean,
Yeah.
well,
They're like a year behind or something like that.
no,
2 or
no.
3
I mean, no. I mean, but we tried to work it out with them. They wouldn't meet with us. They said stuff on the news, and like I told Dr. Allen and the rest of the board, they can say what they want. Let them come in there and see. Uh, They can throw a kid out for running in the hall. They can expel them. Well, first of all, they're going to send them for 4 or 5 days. Okay. I mean, and then they wind up, that kid can't go to their school, their future. Can't go. Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, I really want to keep them because I've seen the progress they've done up in the Midland area. And they had a Hispanic school up there. They went from F to a B school. I can't think of the name of. I think it started with an O, the school district. But one of my daughters used to teach up there in Midland. But
Mhm.
so we got to get ready for it. These parents gonna have to understand the voucher ain't for you. They hollering up and down. Oh, we're gonna have the money. No, you ain't. You ain't touching on that money, honey. Mm-mm. Not
I
a
And I
think
think
drop
that
of it.
that's what needs to be explained. They need to understand. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not money in your pocket. It's not.
Well, that's
And
why.
I think that's the aspect of what's missing is they are uneducated about what really goes on with the schools and in the districts. And that transparency has got to be top priority because if they don't
Yes,
know,
it
they
does.
cannot make the right they can't make the right choices, you
Hmm.
know?
Right.
right.
Oh yeah. All right. So those are just some of the things. I mean, then like I said, you go back. You got these little ladies and guys, mainly little ladies, trying to train up our children, but they can't pass the test to be certified. Now, I have never taken it, but I think math or something may be tracking a lot of them. I'm not sure. I don't want to just go out there and just say they just can't do it. But if you had tutorship, mentorship from Lamar University, who they say we partners, and we are with LIT, and you got Exxon Mobil is anything that we need they pretty well supply, and that is we need classrooms, even if they have to have it on the school campus. We gotta get these young people in the educational system
Mhm.
so that they can be certified, so they can make more money. So,
Right.
and another thing, we're gonna have to start paying teachers what they're worth. They
That's right.
worth more than $50,000, $55,000. Now we just gave them that raise. We gave them
It's
automatic
so
two
true.
percent. We passed the Vader, and they got another 3%, which is 5%. But before that, they making 45. I mean, come on. And other school districts making 50, 60, $70,000. Their future made 72, $74,000 for a first year teacher.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Mr. Reese, before we hang up, I had one question I wanted to ask you. A lot of
Hmm.
parents and teachers complain that we have regular students, well, I'm not going to say regular, but we have like the 504, we have autism children, and everyone is
Right.
combined together. You guys do something to change that?
Well, um, that's kind of then how many classrooms would you have? Because you would have to separate them in different classrooms because of their learning ability or their handicap. I hate to really say handicap, but uh, those are things that you got to work on. But see, we need people like my opponent. She gets in there, the fight part. But you got to fight. Now you ain't gonna be with no group. You'll
Mr.
be
Reese,
fighting
I'm a
by
fighter
yourself.
now. I'm telling you, don't let the smooth
Yeah,
taste
I know.
fool you.
I know, but you still need somebody else. You need four people to
Yeah.
change the vote. So
Right.
that's what I'm speaking of.
Right.
Then they looking at you like they looked at me and Kevin. Kevin's just rough. I mean, I'm not rough as Kevin, but he didn't take no crap,
Right.
But you
and
know what, Mr.
he wanna.
Reese,
Uh
he's a good one. No, because before
huh.
Kevin was even running for school board, he was
Uh huh.
coming to the school with me when my children were being bullied, advocating.
Right.
Y'all did a
Yeah,
great
that's
job
what he
with
did.
him.
That's what he did. Uh huh.
Yes, sir.
That's how y'all so close.
Yeah, yeah, because we
I
some
know.
fighters.
Yeah, I know.
That's my brother.
The stuff that your husband went through. Then they try to
Yep.
make you go through it too. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
they saw
Yes,
the
sir.
writing on the wall. They said, "Ooh, I don't know if I can handle them. I can't
You right
shut
about
them
that.
up." Yeah.
You are
Oh,
so
I'm
right.
telling you. I
I
know.
know.
I don't be saying a lot of stuff with people's business, but y'all who you are.
Yes, sir.
God made us all equal in one way, but in another way, He gave us our own mind.
But you know what, Mr. Reese, I thank you because we have people like you we looked up to who we saw fighting. I was there with Christine and Toya Davis, how they treated them at Westbrook, and y'all stood up for them. So we
Well,
had some good examples.
well, the thing about it is, when graduation came, they had no black honor students, zero. And I know Christina was a. She was
She was one of the
see
smartest one
they,
in the class.
hello, hello,
She
but
was one of the smartest in the class.
they had 3 English teachers that had to recommend you in the whole camp. We found that out. So the good agreement was, well, we'll find some of those that y'all think that are eligible for that, but they
Hmm.
won't be in the yearbook. They won't be on the
Yeah.
program. I said, you, I don't know who you think you're talking to, but y'all discriminating just to discriminate. I mean, they had to change
That's
all that.
right.
Either nobody's name in the book, or you're going to take care of them. They wanted to put them separate, like they were some whatever. Like we didn't put them. The same thing was with
Yeah.
cheerleading, but academics,
Yeah.
that's why 3 of my kids went to Westbrook,
None
and
of,
one of them
all of your kids are
went to
smart.
Ozan. One of them went to Ozan. My baby
A
boy.
lot of people don't realize how books. A lot of people don't realize how book smart Kevin is. He's smart.
Oh, who you telling? He
I
gets
know,
on
but I'm
me.
just saying a lot of people. Yes.
He gets on me.
And
You
Mr.
don't know how
Reese.
to go on that podcast? No, I almost said N word, but yeah. Well, now I do.
And
So
you,
I was sitting in the car playing
uh-huh.
with it, and finally got on. I said I thought it was gonna be around 6:30
Oh
because
no, sir.
mm-hmm.
It's generally 6:30, but
Well,
I had something to
okay.
do.
Well,
Any more
Mr. Reese,
questions?
the same thing you're talking about, we're dealing with that at early college with discrimination. Just so you know that.
Well, it's not early college anymore. Did you
Oh,
know
it
that?
isn't. Okay. No,
What's
sir. No, sir.
It's
I
Dr.
didn't.
Martin Luther King
Mhm.
right?
Collegiate Academy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The state
So
of
we're
Okay.
gonna
Texas said you can't call it
uh-huh.
a college. State of Texas came down on
Oh,
us like white on rice. They said y'all
really?
cannot. Yeah. So when they had the 100 Black Men's Awards,
Yes,
all of
sir.
them pulled out the people had it as uh, early college.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't say nothing. I sat there, but I already knew. And no, and they have to change their school names also. So we gave the students
Mm,
the chance to change the name to 2 different names, and we let
that's
them pick
awesome.
what name they wanted.
That
That's
is
unheard
awesome.
of. That
That's
that is.
awesome.
So they
So
picked
you
the
think it'll
name
be
of the
more
school.
diverse now? It will be more
That's
diverse. That's the
well
plan.
depends on depends on
Who
how
you have in
you
leadership?
and who you have on the board.
Yes,
Right,
sir.
Well,
right,
That's
right.
right.
because sometimes leadership, and well, I don't want to get into my brothers and
Yeah,
sisters,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah,
they
yeah. We're
they
gonna leave that
different.
alone, Mr. Reese.
They
We're gonna leave
different.
that one
They
alone.
different.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, the school board is a non-paid job.
Yes, sir.
First of all, and if you
Yep.
got paid, it would be corrupt more than what it is. A
Huh.
lot of
You
these
right
jobs.
about that.
That's how it
Hmm.
happens. I
Yes,
mean, and
sir.
so I don't want to go to jail. I want to go. I'm too old to go to prison.
Right?
Yeah. So, uh, um, it's so much to do, but the main thing we got to get these third graders reading. We got to get them reading.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key in any school. Get them
Right.
to
Yep.
read. Well, see, some of them staying with grandma and
Yeah.
grandpa because
Mm-hmm.
mom and daddy in the penitentiary. I
Yep.
mean, I'm
That's
not
true.
talking down on my people. I just
No,
tell
you're
you a fact.
speaking facts. Yes, sir.
Are running
Yep.
the streets these
I
days.
run
Yep.
the
That's what they
street.
doing. Run the streets.
Well, just like Raquel
Hmm.
Welch just gave this guy 32 years old, 55 freaking years.
I saw that, Mr.
He-
Reese. I saw
Oh,
that.
but that's not all. Guess what? He got
What?
another trial coming up, and the guy already, well, he fled and he got 35. I don't want 35, 55, 25, 25. I don't want none of that.
Yeah,
And
I don't want
but
one
so
year.
if he come back and he guilty of that, he'll have life in prison.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I
At
thought he
home
was sentenced
invasion.
to life, Mr. Reese. No, I saw it
No,
today. He
no.
was sentenced, but he
It's
wasn't.
55.
Okay.
No. Let me
Okay.
clarify because I'm a news freak. I'll be looking at news like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I just am. I want to know.
Uh-huh. Yes,
You
sir.
know, it's like this school that ran over 11 children. Um, but they said
Oh
he
my
wasn't
God.
drunk or he wasn't. Yeah, that happened last night, yesterday. But then
Oh, what
you
was
go
that
back.
at?
You go back. This
Mm-hmm.
no, y'all would ask me. I got so many states in my head because there's so much going on.
Mm.
And
Yes,
Raquel
sir.
Welch, she went Republican. So did the other
Yes,
guy.
sir.
He went Republican.
Yep, both
Oh,
of them.
y'all knew that?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Mhm.
She
yes, sir.
got in
Should
there
been like
all
that.
this time with Democrats.
Yep,
Yeah, but she's been a
that's
Democrat
what they
all this
do.
time.
Yep, that's what they do,
Who you
Mr. Reese.
telling? Who did
Mm-hmm.
tell? Yeah, yeah. So,
It's
but
crazy.
I mean, so much we can talk about. The main
Yeah.
thing is though, you got to keep talking to your board members.
Yeah.
Yes,
Have a
sir.
relationship with them. Well, look,
Yep.
I got a question on this. I got a question on that. And if they don't want to talk, you shouldn't be on the board.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I had a busy job. I had postmaster uh, in 2 different cities, 2.5 cities, because I did it for Bridge City when the storm came in Harvey. I go run their office and let my supervisor run the office I was in. I ain't telling y'all the office I was. Y'all wanna know? Y'all know the office I was in?
What?
Viber over 15 years. You know
Wow.
Viber is?
Yeah.
No, yes, sir. Somewhere I don't want to be.
Yeah.
They have signs up. If you can't read, run anyway.
Yeah.
Southwestern Bell, and then they turned to AT&T. They be up on the poles, and so the guys, because I go visit them, I go bring them a lunch or something like that, because they're right down the street from the post office. And they said, "Ooh, y'all doing some good work, but don't let sundown hit you."
Right.
Ain't that something?
Mm.
Now you fixing their telephone lines, but I made it all right. I knew the judge, I knew the police chief. I made my business. I knew city council and in the educational system because I did some studies with them. I mean, that's just what I did. But and then I was in Needham over 20 years. Yeah, and I'm for diversity. I ain't for all. Needham never had a black person in their life. Never. Can you believe that?
Right. Well, the clock on the wall says it's time for us to get off, and I'm
Okay.
trying to respect everybody's time. And so before they shut us down. So thank
Okay.
you, Mr. Reese, Woodrow Reese, for coming
Yeah.
on. And remember,
Hmm.
he's running for school board District 2. And also Treva, his poor Johnson, she's
3.
also
District
3.
3.
I'm sorry, 3. That's what somebody else running for 2. Both of them are running for 3, District 3.
Right.
Both opponents. So Treva is running for 3 also. So we want
And
say
we're
thank
not angry.
you guys.
Right, Treva? Right, Treva? We're not angry.
Oh no, no, sir. That's not no, sir. I don't do that.
We
Not at
we
all.
did we
Mr.
did
Reese, let
high
me say
five the
something.
other day.
I appreciate you. We sure did. I give him a hug, y'all. I don't play that
Yep,
mess.
sure did.
Mr. Reese, I appreciate you. I appreciate all the service that you have put into this district
Yep,
and the hard work that you have
yep,
done. I honor you. Honest to God, I do. I don't play that mess. I will never disrespect you and I will never think down on
yep.
you ever. I appreciate you, sir.
Good
I
good
do.
luck, my opponent.
Yes,
He
sir.
said good
You
luck.
too.
Yeah.
You too, Mr. Reese.
All right.
Thank you to my viewers who have stayed with me since 7:30 tonight. And
Uh,
We appreciate you guys. You always support us. We're gonna bid you good night tonight. And so I want to
Okay.
thank everyone for coming on. God bless you. God keep you. It's my word. It's my prayer. If I can help anybody that pass along this way, then I know that my living is not in
Thank
vain.
you.
God bless you and God keep you.
Okay.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
everybody.
Good
All
night.
right. Good night. Good night.
Good night, y'all.